What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity, and C.
And I'm here too.
He's smoking Ant B. And I'm telling you guys, I wish we were back in the Attitude Years, back when technology was like dial up, because I'm having an issue dealing with this whole headphone situation. Hopefully, I get it.
We'd have we'd have a little shitty ass webcam and one little microphone and it would all work. It
It
would
would be
just be
fucking
slow.
perfect. But now we got fucking, a laptop that only has one USB port. So we're Ant's hiding not in the closet, but in the bathroom on his end, and I'm out here in the living room. But nonetheless, we are jumping in our time machines to go back to the Attitude Years. We are on season four. We have covered December 1997 to December 2000, and now we are covering WWF Smackdown from January 11th, 2001, live in Oakland, California. And normally I would go over something that happened on this particular date and time, but when I looked it up, nothing really went on. So I guess that's good for
Yeah.
America at that point. But Vince McMahon comes out to open the show, and we're coming off Triple H screwing Stone Cold Steve Austin out of the WWF Championship on Raw's War. So Vince says, I had nothing to do with Triple H screwing Austin out of the title. Triple H was verbally reprimanded by me this morning. When is this issue between Stone Cold and Triple H going to end? He talks about, Triple H hiring Rikishi to run over Austin, and then Austin using the crane to drop Triple H and his car down on the concrete ground, and then how Triple H attacked Austin with a pipe, and Austin got a concussion. So Vince decides that he has ordered a special 24-hour cooling off period, and suggests that they appear tonight, but via satellite. So he says that he's considering things in the WWF, and he feels like Stone Cold has been possessed with it being WWF champion. And in the interest of fairness, he will consider putting Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Royal Rumble match. And then he goes on to announce that Kurt Angle will defend the WWF title against his son-in-law, the Game Triple H, at the Royal Rumble. Vince says, I chose Triple H because we all know he's number one because he's that damn good. And then that's when Triple H and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley appear on the Titantron. And Triple H says, I know you didn't know about my plan to attack Austin on Raw. Um, I did a bad thing. I ruined a great match for all the fans, and I cost Stone Cold Steve Austin the championship. I wish I could change it, but truth be told, I wouldn't. And then he goes on to say, Austin, just when you thought I was gone, I come back, and my biggest payoff is becoming champion before you do. He says that he will be happy when Austin's sitting in Texas and he won't be drinking a beer. He'll be watched. So Triple H just wants to see Austin injured, and that's when he says things will be finished. Stephanie says that Triple H was justified in his actions after Austin ripped off her shirt and dumped beer all over her. Uh, and she thanks her father for giving her husband Triple H a title shot. And then Triple H goes on to talk to Kurt Angle and says, since October, you have been champion, and you're still champion because I have allowed it. He says that up until now, Triple H's attention has been diverted elsewhere. At Royal Rumble, Kurt Angle will get my full attention. Vince, you're truly a genius, and I'm gonna finish Stone Cold Steve Austin once and for all. So a lot to unpack here. Fucking Vince McMahon just putting Triple H in that title shot. Triple H did nothing to deserve this match. But he will take on Kurt Angle on the Royal Rumble. And then Vince goes on to say that he's gonna consider Austin to compete in the Royal Rumble match. And then you hear from Triple H saying things won't be over until he finishes Austin. So a lot of intermingling rivalries here. What did you think of all this?
Um, I thought it was pretty good. Triple H, even though he hasn't done anything in the last month, he is pretty much the driving force in the company. He has Vince, he has um Stephanie on his side, and he kind of gets his way and does what he wants, you know. So he
Is
really
that
can't.
because he deserves it, or is that just because
Oh, I didn't say he deserves it. I said that that's he usually gets what he wants and he does what he wants and gets away with it. Um, you know, he he says that he's allowed Kurt Angle to be the champion, but he didn't win the match. He didn't win the Hell in the Cell, and I think it really boils down to that. I mean, he likes to think he's the man, but
it's
it's
the game?
basically because it's basically because he's got Stephanie and Vince in his pocket. Anybody could do what he's done if you have the right people in your pocket.
I didn't realize, like going back watching this, I didn't realize how close to the pay-per-view they made this match. Like I thought this match was booked early on. There's only two more, there's only one more Raw and one more SmackDown before we hit the Royal Rumble. And this is
Yeah.
booked like 3 episodes before you get to the Rumble. So we talk about how there's like lackluster build up in today's, in the future. But right now,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
Triple clearly got put
this
in.
might have been a last minute decision because Triple H was kind of out. We don't know if he was injured or on vacation or what. So it does kind of seem like a last minute throw it together type match.
Well, moving on, we have Billy Gunn, the Hardy Boys with Lita, taking on the Right to Censor with Steven Richards and the women's champion Ivory. Back and forth action, but the end comes when Steven Richards gets involved and super kicks Matt Hardy. Right to Censor get the victory. And this was again, they're trying to get some kind of comeuppance for China. She's been injured by Val Venus and Ivory, and they didn't win this time around, though. I just want to see fucking China come back.
Yeah, me too. I'm
The
definitely ready
storyline
for it.
is it's dumb without her because it's like you're defending her honor. Yeah, she's injured, but at what point is that going to stop, you know?
Well, I'm kind of feeling like maybe she'll come back at the Rumble.
Maybe. Next, we see Tess defeat K-Kwik after a big boo. After the match, K-Kwik offers a handshake and Tess shakes his hand. As Tess is walking up the ramp, WWF European Champion William Regal attacks Tess in the back with the European Championship. We saw William Regal get involved on Raw in Tess's handicap match against Trish and Albert. What do you think is going on here? Is this something that Vince is hiring William Regal to do? What do you think is going on?
Yeah, I mean, he, has to kind of do everything in private so Stephanie doesn't get mad. So I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure he's behind.
Yeah, well, William Regal, you got a lot of fucking balls, man. I mean, backstage like stories, like William Regal is really a tough fucking guy. He grew up like he fought in circuses and shit, I guess, in England. That was popular. I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I've heard about that.
he was tough, but his
Well,
character right now.
remember when we watched Queen of the Ring, how like they started in the circuses?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that
he
was
has
all in
that
England.
background.
Yeah.
We see the XFL cheerleaders flirt with Kai and Ty, and of course, this is back when Shane McMahon is doing the voiceover, and you hear a lot of "indeed," and it was funny back in the day. I remember that as a kid. We see WWF Champion Kurt Angle being interviewed backstage, and Angle says, "How dare people think I was gonna lose on Raw?" But Triple H, I don't need you to ruin what could have been my best match. When it comes to the Olympic game called life, Triple H, you don't even enter the first round. I have no problem facing Triple H, but facing Vince McMahon's son-in-law with his daughter in his corner is not fair for me. I have the one person whose goal is to manage a champion, and he introduces Trish Stratus. So Trish, man, she's getting entangled in the McMahon family here. She's flirting with Vince, and now she's working with Triple H's enemy, his opponent at the Royal Rumble. Do you think this is a way to get back at Stephanie? What do you think is going on here?
I was just thinking it's not really a smart move because one, you're pissing off Vince because Vince doesn't want his girl around another man, especially somebody like Kurt Angle. And Stephanie is going to be pissed because she was his manager. up until she kind of had to go back to Triple H, and Stephanie hates her for fucking the father. So this is not good. Angle's got some balls doing this. He is definitely stirring the pot.
And Trish got the boobs to match.
She
Um,
sure does. Thank you, Trish.
we get a six-man tag match. WWF Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit and the tag team champions Edge and Christian taking on Chris Jericho and the Dudley Boys. Before the match, Jericho gets on the mic and says, "Ever since I was little, I wanted to be Intercontinental Champion, and I've done it twice. Since I beat your gap tooth ass on Raw, I won a shot at the Royal Rumble." Benoit says, "I've beaten you every time we fought. I'll give you any match you want. If you think you're going to climb the ladder of success in the WWF at my expense, you're an idiot." Jericho says, "Would you please shut the hell up? You gave me a good idea at the Royal Rumble. We're going to have a ladder match." So that match is made. Before anything can happen in the match, Stone Cold Steve Austin runs out with a steel chair and lays everyone out. Before we move on to Austin, what do you think about this ladder match made here? We've seen them fight in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We've seen them fight in a submission match, and now we're getting a ladder match. What do you think?
This is Benoit and Y2J, right?
Yep.
Well, I don't really know why Benoit said ladder match like it's his specialty or something.
He didn't.
But
Jericho picked it. He
oh,
just was,
I met Jericho. Jericho was
yeah.
like ladder match, like he's some ladder match connoisseur. But
Well, because
um,
Benoit said you're not going to climb the ladder of WWF at my expense, and then Jericho was like,
okay,
okay, yeah,
yeah, I guess. And Benoit's like more of a technical guy, so he's not. Yeah, I get it. Okay, well, um, I'm definitely excited for this match. I definitely think Jericho's going to get the title back at the Royal Rumble. Um, and hopefully this will kind of put an end to their rivalry because it's starting to get a little monotonous.
yeah.
We see
We'll
them fight
see.
all along.
We'll see the gap to the Rabid Wolverine against Y2J at the Royal Rumble. So Austin attacks everybody with a cheer and says, "Vince McMahon, you got 3 seconds to bring your little carcass out here right now." Vince gets on the ramp and Austin tells him, "You take another step and I'll split your skull wide open." Um, Austin says, "I didn't come out here to whine, but you want Stone Cold Steve Austin to cool off. No one tells Austin what to do. Am I in the Royal Rumble?" Vince says, "Yes, you're in." And then Austin says, "That's all I needed from you. Go to the back and tell the 29 other wrestlers Austin is going to raise more hell in that Rumble. As far as Triple H is concerned, it's easy to sit and talk trash. It ain't over. I will settle the score after I win the Royal Rumble." So Austin is now officially in the Royal Rumble match. What do you think his chances are in this match?
I think pretty good, but I do think he's going to be put in very early. If number one, most likely, I'm thinking.
Mhm. He maybe we'll have to see.
I
Um,
mean, that would be the biggest way for Vince to screw him right now is to put him at number one. So
yeah, well, he better not because fucking if Vince is gonna be in for it if he does try to fuck over Austin
and
here.
yeah,
So then speaking of Vince, he's backstage talking to Trish and he's like, "What are you doing being in Kurt Angle's corner?" Trish says, "I wasn't thinking, I wouldn't do anything to make you unhappy." And then she bends over in front of Vince and says, "I've been a bad girl." And he's like, "You've been a bad girl." And it looks like he's gonna spank her. And then Trish closes the door, and we are getting some slappy time with Vince McMahon and Trish Stratus
well,
here on SmackDown.
no, Trish says right out, "I've been a bad girl. You need to spank me." And he says, "Yes, I
Yeah.
do." And then they close the door.
He spanks the shit out of her ass, man. I wonder what Linda's
Woo!
thinking at home. I wonder if like anybody in Congress in the year 2025 is watching this and saying, "Damn, Linda's got a nice home life."
Yeah, well, thank you, Trish. I don't think
Thank
Linda
you,
was
Trish.
thanking her, but
That's what Vince was saying that night.
actually, Linda probably was saying thank you, Trish,
Linda was
because I
saying
don't
thank
think,
you, Trish. Yeah, she don't want to sleep
yeah,
with him.
because she don't want him.
Linda is like, "Thank God, Trish, you gave me Thursday off." But I
Right.
think it's interesting to see though how like every week we're getting more and more like not just with Trish, but with the women, like they're doing more risque things. And I thought, looking back, I thought the more, rated R stuff was like 98, 99, but we're in 01 and we've got Stephanie with her shirt off. We got Leah in a nude shower. We've got fucking Trish getting spanked by Vince. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff here.
Oh, we are still in the prime of the Attitude Era.
Oh, sure are. Our main event, we have a fatal four-way. The winner gets the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble match. It's Kane versus Rikishi versus The Rock versus The Undertaker. And we see a lot of action here. Undertaker gets cut open above his eye early on in the match. Rock low blows Rikishi, lands a spine buster, but Taker breaks up the pinfall. Rikishi lands a back suplex to Kane on the ramp and then hits Kane with a ring bell. Kane hits Rikishi with a steel chair. Taker chokeslams Rikishi, but Rock breaks up that pinfall. Rock lands a rock bomb to Kane, but Undertaker breaks that up. And then Rikishi just sits his big fat ass on Kane, and Rikishi will be the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble match. After Taker attacks Rikishi, and then Taker and Rock push one another. Rock low blows Taker. Kane chokeslams The Rock, Undertaker, and Rikishi, and Kane stands tall to end SmackDown, but Rikishi gets the lucky number 30. What do you think his chances are?
I was very surprised by this. See, I did not think Rikishi was going to win this match. I thought it was going to be Undertaker or The Rock, and I really thought it was going to be The Rock. Um, Rikishi has a very good chance of winning, being number 30 and being a fat fuck. I mean, who can get Rikishi over the top rope? And he's number 30. So he's got a fucking ace in the hole here.
He sure does. So, what did you think of the SmackDown? What was your biggest attitude moment of the night for you?
I'll say the biggest attitude moment was spank time between Trish and Vince.
Yeah, of course. I'll agree with you. That was a big moment, but I also think um Austin getting told he's going to be in the Rumble and the attacking everybody with a chair, they don't do that anymore. It's like, oh, this person's in the Royal Rumble match. Back in the day, it was like, am I in it? So that was kind of cool to see. But like
Yeah.
I said earlier, we've got two more episodes. We've got Raw's War, SmackDown, and then Royal Rumble 2001. And that episode will cover the pay-per-view, and then we'll give you a rundown of what was happening in that month, January of 2001. So make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell if you like what you're hearing. Leave a comment. Do you remember this episode? Share your memories with us. And until next time, stay safe and stay
And stay
uncensored.
uncensored.